It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Starting today, NFL teams can begin applying transition or franchise tags through March 3rd. George Pickens, Trey Hendrickson, and others are among potential franchise tag candidates. Nashville Soccer Club begins its 2026 campaign tonight in CONCACAF Champions Cup as they head north of the border to face Atletico Ottawa with kickoff at 7 p.m. on FS2. MLS play begins Saturday at home against New England. The club announced an extension for manager BJ Callahan on Monday through the 2028-29 season. Olympic hockey this morning. Predators captain Roman Josi scored a power play goal as Switzerland beat Italy 3-0, setting up a knockout round meeting with Preds goalie UC Saros and Finland for tomorrow. On Monday, the USA women's team routed Sweden 5-0. They advanced to the gold medal final where they will face Canada on Thursday. The U.S. currently is third in the total medal count with 19 behind Norway's 30 and Italy's 23. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. Hope you're off to a great start today. We're looking forward to the next 3 hours with you. Me, Robert, Lucas. Show back together. Thanks to Slay and Ramon and Casey Alexander. Who else did you have on yesterday to babysit? Is that the list?
Robert.
I was here.
Good. Glad to know I'm the only one who took the day off. It's a lovely day off. There was a lot to talk about yesterday between the Dolphins doing some salary cap clearing and the Titans logo leak from Friday night that carried a lot of the discourse over the weekend. We had a lot more pushback on primetime last night about the new logo than it sounds like the two of you had on the radio show yesterday, which feels like it's reflective of internet discourse versus the way that most people behave rationally and reasonably. We will, keep tabs on any logo-related things that come available. But Dolphins getting underway with a ton of cap clearing space. I'm sure the two of them talked about it at length yesterday. We will talk about the idea of trading for Tua Tagovailoa if you're the Tennessee Titans, and a subject that was posed yesterday that doesn't feel as offensive as it probably sounds upon hearing it at first. We'll get into that later in the noon hour because there are some reasonable ways to make that a viable situation for a team that's currently in a rebuild. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to participate. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is how you jump in. Good morning, boys.
Hello, good morning. How did you celebrate Presidents yesterday?
How did I celebrate presidents?
Robert said his favorite method is watching a show in a theater.
On a balcony.
On a balcony.
Yes. Exercising my freedoms. Taking a ride in a convertible.
I was awaiting. Doesn't that feel like the perfect opportunity for Trump to have his UFC match on the White House lawn, President's Day? Doesn't that feel like it'd be a fitting tribute to sports and the presidency and all the other things?
Did that get approved? Is that fight really happening?
I mean, I think that's something they're working towards, right? Like, I don't think I'm sure there's a lot of politicians who just say a lot of things, but I feel like that's something that he's actively trying to get done. No, I took a gummy and spent most of the day outside because it was lovely outside yesterday. That's how I celebrated President's Day. How did the two of you celebrate President's Day, other than, avoiding getting shot on a balcony in a movie theater?
By enjoying each other's company, the company of all our wonderful listeners on 104.5 The Zone.
Somebody texted me and said you played trivia, President's Day related trivia.
Oh, Lucas had a number of facts that were very enlightening. I didn't really know. Tell him the one about the golf.
Sprinkled them in. That President William Howard Taft was the first president known to play golf. Therefore, he was the first president to be criticized for playing too much golf and not working. A long-standing tradition, not just in politics, but in sports as well.
Sure.
Tell him about the first pitch thing.
He's also the first president to throw a first pitch at a baseball game.
Is that the fat one? Is that the one that had to be crane lifted out of a bathtub?
That's correct. That's correct. And so
the most athletic president is the fattest president?
I wouldn't say that. In fact, I would say perhaps it is what was my favorite presidential fact yesterday, that Teddy Roosevelt once impressed a Japanese delegation by performing a series of jiu-jitsu moves in front of them, and it is something that he practiced routinely throughout his life. So it is very fun to imagine Teddy, the mustache and all, doing jiu-jitsu for a group of impressed Japanese delegates.
Well, tell him about Gerald. Tell him about Gerald.
Gerald Ford was an NFL draft pick.
Tell him where he played.
Michigan.
What position was he?
He was a center.
We got smarter yesterday, dude. That's all
sounds like it. Did you just chat GPT a bunch of this?
No, we dug and found our favorite one. Ulysses S. Grant.
This is more research than the two of you have done for the show at any point
There's
in the last
one website that just had a bunch of facts.
That's still more research than the two of you have done in basically the 5 years that we've been on the air.
Yes, because you are always thoroughly prepared, as everybody knows. What was the thing you said after Indiana won? The first ever undefeated season in college football history. Yes, that's right, Buck. Nobody has ever gone undefeated in college football
Twitter
history.
lied to me.
Again, very thorough, but we sprinkled them in. Every other segment, there was a presidential fact.
That's one of my favorite poets. Thorough.
Thank you. It was a little delayed. I wasn't picking up what you were putting down.
You know, Thoreau.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get it? You got it too? Okay.
I got the joke. I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, I figured.
So, nothing really to relitigate with the Oilers thing, although people are now finding all manner of screenshots from like the Titans house and the renderings and all these different things.
Oh, yeah. People are zooming in.
I mean, how
Enhance?
Seriously.
Enhance.
Like, I feel like they are just setting them, as a fan base, I feel like they are setting themselves up for some kind, just even an incremental level of disappointment when they come up with the most grand, reimagined Oilers uniform humanly possible. And if it looks just slightly different, the actual uniform that they put out there, Titans fans are going to be like, the hell, this is what we saw at all, which is just ChatGPT renderings all over the internet because Reddit and Twitter can't be stopped.
Yeah. Again, it's worth noting the Titans have at no point had a release or officially said,
no confirmation
here's
whatsoever.
our logo. This is what we're wearing in 2026.
No. I mean, they submitted the paperwork for all of this stuff, which has been, something that they have to get ahead of. It's a whole thing for the league as far as changing the helmets and changing the uniforms and changing the logo. It's the step-by-step phasing into the new Titans that they've been plotting for years at this point. Is it the official logo? Nobody's confirmed that. Is it one of several images? That much we do know. Is it a final image? Fanatics is currently dealing with the fallout of letting that leak go a little preemptively. My whole thing, and then we'll move on from it because I know you two probably spent enough time on it yesterday, is as an image, the logo that was leaked itself is largely unoffensive, right? Like, people are going to have strong opinions, especially on the internet, about any change to any franchise, especially in a down news time, which is what seems to have captivated. I mean, because nationally it became a talking point. We spent a bunch of time on it on Fox because logo changes and uniform changes apparently get the people going far more than I realized. But if they do it right with the Oilers colors on an Oilers-themed uniform, they have the opportunity to hit a home run. As a standalone flat image, it's fine. But I know did you talk a little bit yesterday about nostalgia?
Yeah.
Because there are a generation of people who have never grown up as Houston Oilers fans who have just been Tennessee Titans fans in the same way there's a generation of just Texans fans who don't relate to the Oilers at all.
Yeah, I'd say the vast majority of Titans fans did not grow up Oilers fans, right? The amount of people that were Oilers fans and then transitioned with the team to Nashville and became Titans fans, I would say are in the minority. So I hope the Fireball logo is not dead and gone. That's my logo. That's the logo of the team that I grew up supporting. And there are teams that have made drastic changes. We were talking yesterday about Denver, going from the big block D to what we know now, the horse, which I think is a good logo. I'm sure it was controversial when it happened. as any change is, right?
Less so because we're talking about a very specific time.
Right, no social media.
Right.
Were Pats fans pissed? I'm genuinely curious about this. Were they
Pat
angry
Patriot?
when they went from, the old school Patriot logo to what they have on the helmets now? I'd be genuinely curious because that's a pretty big change. So for me, it looks as though my slight concern is they will look more like the Oilers paying tribute with a nod to the Titans as opposed to the Titans paying tribute with a nod to the Oilers, if that makes sense.
Will it be more offensive to you as a Titans fan if they change the font, like the lettering of Tennessee Titans? If they change the font and make it look more Oilers? Because that will be a decided move away from the Greek mythology stuff, right? There's no sword features on the T anymore. There's
I think that ship sailed.
Fireball,
the
right?
Greek mythology thing. I don't even think that's a part of their marketing plan whatsoever.
The answer to all of your questions, forever and always, is money. They can sell way more Oilers-looking merch than they can Tennessee Titans merch as currently constructed, right? We can all agree that there's way more money to be made on Oilers nostalgia and Oilers adjacent stuff because it's a cool uniform, right? It's, to me, maybe I'm biased just because I've lived here for long enough, but I think it's the best throwback uniform that's out there. You can argue, the Kelly Green Eagles? I think it's better than the Eagles one. I think it's better than the Pat Patriot. I think it's better than the Creamsicle Bucks. I think the Houston Oilers, probably the nicest thing I've ever said about that organization. I think they've got the best throwbacks in sports.
Yeah, the aesthetic is great, and it's unique because the Titans, the Oilers/Titans, did something that nobody really does when they relocate, right? The complete 180 of different team name, different logo, different brand. So it means a little more when you throw it back to the Oilers because it harkens this old age that no longer exists. Whereas when the Bucks wear the creamsicles, yes, it's old school, but it's still the Bucks. They were the Bucks then and they're the Bucks now. So it's a very unique thing, and I do love the Oilers aesthetics. I have loved when the Titans have done the throwbacks on the field at Nissan Stadium. But we'll see what the final product looks like. I just don't want to look at the Titans week 1 of 2027 at the new Nissan Stadium and say, well, all right, what am I looking at here?
I think that's what they want, though. I think this is their whole rebranding of the organization, right? They want to be the new Titans. They've fired a bunch of people over there that have been institutions for 100 years because they want the new Titans. They've moved in a direction with now a new organization and new or alleged new logos trending in that direction. New stadium, new Nashville, right? That's the thing that a lot of people
and it is
in Nashville don't like, right?
Yeah.
That's natives, understandably so. I mean, I saw an interview with Tom Morales, who is the owner of Acme. What is it? Tomcat Hospitality. So that's the Southern Acme Feed and Seed. I think there's another brand that's under that hospitality group. And he's talking about, basically they're getting priced out or on the verge of getting priced out at Acme because the property taxes have gone to such an outrageous height. They were paying like $1,900 before. It was somewhere in the 6,000s. Their most recent property tax bill. And his whole argument was, why are we trying so hard to be Vegas? We're losing the thing that makes us Nashville, trying to lean into something that's way, way more commercial as a city. The Titans also feel like they're trending in that direction. Right, wrong, or indifferent, right? There's good things about growth and change. There's bad things about growth and change.
It's why I'm a huge supporter of the 911 Nashville show. I'm a huge supporter of that.
Are you actually?
Yes. I don't watch it, but just the concept of people around the country tuning in, being like, I don't want to move there. There's cars hanging off of bridges. We got little girls being swept up by balloons above the Parthenon.
Balloons?
Yeah, apparently that's the thing that happens in an episode. Like a little girl gets holding a bunch of balloons and gets like swept up into the air.
So you're okay with all of Los Angeles importing their movie and TV production here and all the things that's going to do to the city because you think it'll scare people away.
Right. That's right. I don't want to go there. Look what happens there. This is crazy. But my hope is that while moving into this new era and paying more tribute to the Oilers brand, which I do appreciate, I hope that there's not 25 years of Titans kind of lost in the shuffle, right? The navy blue, the two-tone blue. Can't really call them the two-tone blue anymore, right? The fireball. Like, I hope that just doesn't disappear, and it's just something that we have in our memory.
Yeah, I'm sure it's that part of it. Nostalgia in sports. It's why logos and uniform changes are always polarizing, even if the actual images and uniforms aren't that polarizing, because you associate it with memories. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Our buddy Josh Pate did a college football program ranking, not a preseason ranking, but a program ranking. We'll tell you where the Vols slotted in coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. The sun is out. It feels like spring in Middle Tennessee.
Could stand it.
You are so soft.
Just tick it up a few
It
degrees.
is objectively warm in the sun.
You have to say in the sun, though. I don't
Yes.
want it to just be warm in the
That's
sun.
what spring feels like.
I
It's
want it to
not
be warm everywhere.
all the time in the spring.
It's 58 degrees. It's not warm until it's over 60.
I said it feels like spring. I didn't say it feels warm. I said it feels like spring. It's warm in the sun. It's cool in the shade. The temperature is perfect unless you're a lizard person like Lucas.
Ladies, it's warm enough for all of us.
No, apparently not.
Could use about 7 more degrees.
Lucas is not happy unless his ankles are sweating.
It's so weird.
If his ankles are not moist, not warm enough.
Especially for as badly, you don't have like a medical condition or anything that makes you pit out like that, right? So I'm not making fun of some kind of medical condition that you have.
To pit out?
Yeah.
Oh, like armpit sweat?
Raise your arms. Raise your arms right now. Oh, he's wearing
I'm
navy.
clear.
He's
I'm
wearing
clear.
navy.
Yeah, not a drop.
It is one of the most bizarre, especially for somebody who likes the heat as much as you do. You
I know.
have
It's only
an
in the mornings.
outrageous amount of armpit sweat.
It's in the mornings. I don't know what it is. Maybe I should get it checked out. I hope I do have a condition. And just to make you feel bad about it.
I don't think that would make me feel bad. If you came back with a medical condition, if he came into the studio with a doctor's note that said, I profusely sweat from my armpits because, I would probably laugh at you.
I want to feel as though I am legitimately being bathed in sunshine at all times of the day, every minute of every day of my life. So as it does heat up in Nashville, mercifully so, what will it take for Josh Heupel's seat to heat up? What would have to happen this season at Tennessee for us to go into 2027 talking about maybe the seat getting a little warm, Josh Heupel shifting around, trying to turn off the seat warmer, and he can't. There's no button. What would have to happen?
I tried to force that transition so bad.
It got off to a nice start, and then I took it too far.
We lost an engine.
Warmer seat.
It's like, how do we land this plane?
He's mixing planes and seat warmers and cars. Ironically enough, he just started sweating again. I'm not sure if that's related or not. Anyway, a seat heater for you would make more sense. That's why you're pitting out constantly. So, Josh Pate did a ranking. We are in officially list season. We have a free agent list. We have a mock draft today. We also have a college football ranking, but it is not a top 25, not a preseason top 25 ahead of exclusively the 2026 season. And it is our buddy Josh Pate and his show, Josh Pate's College Football Show, where he has ranked the top 12 programs currently in the country. This is not last season. This is not just for the upcoming season. This is, as he describes it, a rolling 3-year blend of the following criterion: on-field results, talent acquisition, resource pool, organizational stability and structure, slight look into the future. So 5 criteria to define the top 12 current college football programs in the country. Now, I'm sure that, have the three of us all seen this list?
Nope.
Yes.
Robert, who do you think is the number one current college football program in the country, according to the venerable and bald Josh Pate?
Venerable and bald. Let's go Indiana.
No, there are 3.
Okay. Another guess. Let's go with Georgia.
2.
There are 2. Yeah.
Okay, Dad.
Keep going until you get it.
Ohio State.
1.
Okay. I knew I could do it.
Ball knower Bert just named I thought you asked
that
him.
damn list in front of you?
No.
You're lying to me?
No, you
Show me your screen.
You asked him to name the top 3
That's
backwards.
weird. It's a lot of Twitter porn.
Well, hold on now. That's the Penn State guard, which is basically my porn.
Yeah, he asked you to name the top 3 backwards, didn't he?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He said go 3-1. Would you like me to go 6-4?
Ohio State, Georgia, and Indiana are the top 3 current college football programs in the country. Robert, guess where Tennessee ranks?
You put me in a tough spot here because if I go too low, people are going to go, Robert doesn't respect Tennessee. I'll say 16th.
No, you only get 12.
Oh, 12.
It's a top 12.
They are last in this ranking. They are 12.
12. See, now everybody's going to be like, Robert said they were 16. I don't know.
So it's after the top 3, Oregon 4, Texas 5, Notre Dame 6, Bama 7, Miami 8, Texas A&M 9, Michigan 10, Texas Tech 11, Tennessee 12.
All right. So what's doing the heavy lifting for Texas Tech? Talent acquisition and resource pool.
Yes, a commitment to talent acquisition.
I would also make the argument that is Tennessee's case to be in the top 12. They have acquired talent. They have done it more through recruiting than they have through the portal, though there have been some portal acquisitions. I think Tennessee fans are of mixed emotions on the portal strategy for Josh Heupel. Lucas, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that estimation. It seems like it just leaves something to be desired, their annual portal returns. That fair?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially on the quarterback. The quarterback situation specific to 2026, Tennessee fans seem to be very split on. Some want Joey Aguilar to get the year, some don't, and want to commit to guys that you brought in, that you recruited, and have started to develop in George McIntyre and Faison Brandon. So, yes, I do think there's a lot of conversation about that around the Tennessee fan base.
So resource pool and talent acquisition, I think, are the best case for Tennessee. I would also say, and you haven't been able to say this for a long time, but it feels like we've finally gotten to this place, that they are organizationally stable and have good structure.
Yeah, and that's all the way to the top, right? That's a commitment to winning with Danny White and the athletic department as a whole.
Okay, so that is the case for Tennessee in the top 12. The most notable omission is whom? Because I have a glaring omission that fits all of this criteria, but is not mentioned.
You know, when I think about looking to the future, I find it very difficult to imagine a situation where Lane Kiffin is not successful at LSU.
LSU is not in this.
But one of the criteria that Pate used was on-field results. And the on-field results have not come in spades over the last 3 years. In fact, they've been quite disappointing since pretty much year one of the Brian Kelly era, which was more than 3 years ago.
And they don't overwhelmingly seem stable. Right.
Oh, I definitely would not say that they are a stable athletic department currently with the mess that we just saw.
But what then is Michigan, who has had on-field success, but not in the last 3 years, and certainly not in the fallout of both Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore and this athletic director and everything else that's happened in their athletic programs, plural. Now, this is specific to the football programs, so you just have to keep it to the football program. But Michigan football is a national news story, not just a sports story, a news story for the scandal and the screw-ups that they've had. Now, they may have upgraded in Kyle Whittingham. They may have imported structure. I think
they absolutely upgraded in Kyle Whittingham.
And stability in the fallout from Sharon Moore, but you cannot ignore the path that it took you to get to Kyle Whittingham, even if Kyle Whittingham ends up improving upon what Sharon Moore was.
No, but I think a lot of those things outweigh the obvious dysfunction within Michigan's athletic department. The fact that they're one of 3 national champs in this 3-year window that Pate points out. The fact that there is some great trust in Kyle Whittingham and what he did at Utah to do that now with a higher level of resources at Michigan. I think you could not have had a bigger home run higher if you're Michigan. I don't know how that could have played out better for them after the Sharon Moore stuff came crashing down.
It's kind of like Penn State. They just kind of tripped and fell back asswards into a better coach.
Yes.
Well, I don't know that the Iowa State coach, I'm blanking on his name.
Matt Campbell. Yeah,
Campbell, former Iowa State coach. I don't know that he's better than James Franklin, but it is a best case scenario when they did the James Franklin thing the way that they did.
Absolutely.
One person on the F&M Bank Chat, where you can interact with the show, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. One person, who I'm assuming is a Vanderbilt fan, says Vanderbilt is being omitted here. Now, Vanderbilt has had success in the last 2 seasons. They're coming off the most successful season in program history. We do not, I would not put, while they are investing financially, I would not put them in the same category as any of these other 12 institutions as far as deep pockets go. Not that Vandy can't get there, because there are notable alumni that have deep pockets at Vanderbilt, but you're dealing with a smaller alumni base and one that is, getting used to the idea of really fundamentally investing in athletics across the board rather than just letting Tim Corbin do his thing and succeeding independent of the additional resources that a lot of these other programs get.
Yeah, we're not just talking about last year. We're talking about 3 seasons, and that window includes a 2-10 campaign for Clark Lee, and we're also talking about the future of the program, which does figure to be in good hands, and the attitude with which Vanderbilt is attacking athletics in general brings more optimism than any Vandy fan has ever had. But also, we don't know what life post Diego Pavia is going to look like. Jared Curtis is a highly talented prospect that everybody in the country wanted. He's also going to be a true freshman this year. So to say top 12 programs in the country, I think there does need to be some sustained success there, some more proof of concept than 1 year, although I don't think anybody can deny Clark Lee has that program headed in the right direction. And maybe if Josh Pate redoes this poll a year or two from now, Vanderbilt will be in there. But right now, I'd maybe put him in the top 20, but I don't know about top 12.
I can't break them into the top 12 at this point in time. Yeah. Not with the likes of, again, it's not just the success on the field, it's the pockets that these respective institutions have. I mean, Texas, Notre Dame, Michigan may be the richest program or have the potential to be the richest program with Larry Ellison of any of these. And Texas Tech is obviously spending, tens of millions of dollars on their roster to great success. I know they got handled by Oregon in the playoff, but still, they were there for a reason because they went out, bought, and paid for a roster. And unlike Florida State, that roster actually coalesced with the money that they spent rather than, blowing up in their face. Now, it doesn't mean that a Florida State situation can't happen to any number of these programs if they go too heavy on the portal side of things. But I don't think I have a single issue with these 12.
No, I think he kind of nails it. I mean, I wonder about Oklahoma. I feel like they would be just on the cusp of that, 13, 14. There is a proof of concept there now. They were in the playoff last year. There has been an increase in win total year over year at this point under Brent Venables, double-digit win seasons. John Mateer coming back. You got, Jim Nagy, the first name was escaping me there, as the general manager, former director of the Senior Bowl. So if you had to argue about that last spot, I do think you can make an argument to swap out Tennessee for Oklahoma.
Oh, see, I would swap out Miami.
For Oklahoma?
Yes. Not as 8. But I think that Miami has a weaker case. If you pushed Miami down from 8, where they're currently ranked, I'd hear you on that. Because I think that there is a commitment. There is talent acquisition. Mario Cristobal has gotten that program back to the standard where it expects to be regularly competing for national championships. But Miami's brand does a lot of heavy lifting there. They are not as rich as some of these other programs. In fact, I might venture a guess to say that they are the poorest of these 12 programs, at least as far as available resources go. Notre Dame's probably right around there.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know the nuances of that enough to project Miami as because they spend, right? And
they do spend.
They play this dangerous game of the mercenary quarterback, the one-year guy, and it worked with Cam and it worked with Beck, and they got to a national championship.
Will it Indiana's
work?
Doing.
For sure. And so far, it's only worked for Kurt Cignetti. Will it work for Kurt Cignetti with Josh Hoover this year? Will it work for Mario Cristobal with Darian Mensah, the Duke transfer that came with a bunch of drama in 2026? My biggest curiosity is which of these 12 teams that Pate has as his top 12 programs in the country would be quickest to drop out? Like, what scenario is there for these teams that a year from now they are well outside a top 12 conversation?
Okay, maybe not well outside, but why isn't it Tennessee?
Yeah, I think that would probably be the biggest candidate for that. Notre Dame has a very favorable schedule. They're going to win plenty of games. They're probably going to be back in the playoff this coming year. They have an auto bid if they're in the top 12, yes. Texas will have all the hype in the world once again, and rightfully so with what Arch did in the bowl game and what they have coming back.
They should.
Indiana, the proof of concept is so there. I think anybody would be a fool at this point to say, no, this is where the downturn starts. Ohio State with what they bring back.
Coward for not ranking them one, Pate. You hear me?
Indiana.
Coward.
Texas A&M, I mean, year one, just a huge success for Mike Elko. Texas Tech seems to be on this upward trajectory. Tennessee, there is a big if there. If Joey Aguilar does not return, and if neither George McIntyre nor Faison Brandon can take that step, you're looking at a pretty brutal schedule in 2026 for Tennessee. Suddenly,
they finish with another 8 wins.
Yeah, and 8-4 is on the table. Yeah, it would have to take a true bottoming out for there to be legitimate discussions about Josh Heupel being let go after this season.
Yeah, not after this season, but like does an 8-4 after you've kind of tasted playoff picture? Doesn't that kind of feel like?
I think it'll set up a very uncomfortable offseason for sure in the following year. And it all depends on the context, right? Let's say, just for argument's sake, Joey Aguilar, we get a ruling today. Who knows what it's going to be? Let's say the ruling is not favorable to Aguilar and George McIntyre is the starter and he underperforms and there's some losses mixed in. And then Faison Brandon plays the last 2 to 3 games of the year and shows why he was a 5-star prospect and why he could be the future of your program. And you finish strong and you finish 8-4 and you play in the bowl game. And yes, there is this restlessness, but with the idea of, no, okay, but if they reload here and they're aggressive in the portal, they've got the quarterback, like the context will matter so much to the following offseason for Tennessee. Meanwhile, this offseason, the expectation has yet to be determined because the defense is expected to take a big leap with Jim Knowles, but still a huge question mark around the quarterback position because we have no idea what the situation will be with Joey Aguilar and when we'll even find out for sure.
Robert, what do I have to give away?
Some Russell Dickerson tickets. Do y'all know what a Russell Dickerson is?
I have no idea what
I'm
that
sure
is.
Sounds like a tractor brand.
Maybe.
Pants?
I think it is a country artist.
Okay.
I will find out and play some of his music for you when we come back.
Where's he playing?
Dude, why do you ask things? I gave you what I had.
I literally gave you a heads up.
He's playing it. You said coming to you. What do we have to give away? Like, what am I supposed to do in
God
2
forbid
seconds?
I do the thing that we do every day, every week before this segment. God forbid.
Russell Dickerson. He is playing Ascend Amphitheater. It's my favorite alliteration to amphitheater.
Great venue.
All right, very good. 615-737-1045. If you want those tickets to Russell Dickerson's upcoming concert.
That's not his name, you idiot.
What
I
is
can't
it?
believe we got him to do that, dude. I can't believe we got him to do it. That's not a real person.
Actually,
No, yeah, it is Russell Dickerson.
I
Yeah,
have
we,
no idea.
We have those tickets.
We
yeah.
should do that. You should just make up country artists.
you would have gotten me. I mean, that sounds like a country artist.
No, it is. I'm sure people that know who he is know who he is.
Sam Bowie is
I
playing.
don't want to be
the right-
disrespectful to this dude. Maybe he's really good. I have no idea. I'm not a country music person.
Neither am I. I'm not an aficionado of any new stuff, but I'll do some finding. I'll do some listening. We'll
He
figure it
sounds
out.
like somebody that would play in that sounds pseudo-celebrity softball game.
You are correct. And country music star Russell Dickerson. It's like his mom, like.
A smattering of applause.
Maybe he'll
We
play.
are probably being wildly disrespectful to a person who is much more accomplished career-wise than any of the three of us.
He's driving around right now like these
the hell?
these guys.
Maybe he'll play his hit song "Blue Tacoma."
Anybody know it?
No, I don't know.
Sing a little bit.
He's from Union City, the land of John Robinson.
No, don't slander him.
No, he's a Tennessean. True
I
and
know,
true.
but people do not view John Robinson anything John Robinson
Belmont
related.
graduate.
Okay,
we
he's
love
a
Russell
local guy.
Dickerson
All right,
around here.
We're back in. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you want those tickets, just call in and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no. for the opportunity to win some Russell Dickerson tickets, who I've since looked up, and he has 5 number 1 singles. So we apologize, Russell Dickerson. Well done by him.
Not familiar with your game.
No, but we are famously not a country music show.
We're not a new country music show. It was like 90s country, 80s, like anything before 90s. I feel like we could do that.
I love Johnny Cash. The Titans ruined Ring of Fire for me. But it sounds like that's going away. No more Fireball, no more Ring of Fire, maybe, hopefully. At least one good thing could come from this logo change. Either way, 615-737-1045 is the number. If you call in and you tell us what in sports made you say, oh, no, we will give you those Russell Dickerson tickets. I will start with Logan Paul. Logan Paul is very wealthy. Logan is the one that's the WWE one, right? Jake is the boxer.
Correct.
Okay, very good. So Logan Paul, not in dire need of cash. Logan Paul bought a Pokemon card, Robert.
Why'd you say it like that? A Pokemon. He bought a Pokemon card.
How do you say it? Pokemon.
Pokemon. What do you say? You say it like it's like you're also one of them. A Pokemon.
How do you say crayons?
Crayon.
Okay, yeah, we say things differently.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
You.
Isn't that how you say it?
Hello, little child. Have you caught any Pokemon lately? What are you?
He is saying it like a Pokemon says its name, but it's named Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay, whatever. It's a Pokemon card.
Hey, there you go. Okay, you did it right.
He bought a $5 million Pokemon card. Robert, how much did he sell the $5 million Pokemon card for?
Like 16. Oh.
16.492
Well, hold on.
$million at an auction.
Do some air quotes.
Why?
Because people are saying and alleging that this auction may not have been all the way on the up and up.
Well, shocking that the fake, well, I don't want to slander WWE with Robert, but that somebody who is most famous for acting in sports, is that fair?
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
You may not have had the most
honest,
situation, a bit performative with a $16 million plus Pokemon card. Either way, it made me say, oh no.
Did you see him talking trash to Tom Brady about this flag football thing happening in Saudi Arabia?
Was that this one or the other one?
That was on Super Bowl Radio Row. Brady sat down with him, and it was a funny exchange. Like Logan Paul is bragging about how he's going to be the best athlete out there, and there's all sorts of legendary former NFL players playing.
Sure.
And he starts citing his high school stats for Brady, and
he's doing that like tongue in cheek.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
He's not doing it seriously.
No,
did Brady check him?
It was very like WWE-esque. Yes, like they're both talking trash.
Okay.
He's like, "Oh, you win 7 Super Bowls. Nobody cares." Like it was good.
You're lost, old man.
So I was plodding around watching a little college basketball, waiting for Tennessee and LSU to tip off on Saturday, and briefly checked in on the Georgia-Oklahoma game in the first half, just in time to see the game was halted 5 minutes into the first half because a popcorn machine in the concourse caught fire, was ablaze, and looked like a giant fireball, so they had to stop the game. The delay did not last terribly long. They did a great job putting it out. Nobody was hurt. Everybody's safe, and they got on with the game. But this made me say, oh no, in sports this weekend, what was a near disaster in college basketball in the SEC over the weekend as this game was happening in Oklahoma, who has had a rough year. So a little bit, maybe a sign of what has happened with Oklahoma basketball this year, although they did end up winning the game, hanging 94 and beating a pretty good Georgia team.
All right. Very good. Robert?
Are you guys familiar with Quad God?
No.
He is a
Saquon?
No, not that Quad God. Different Quad God.
A.J. Dillon?
A more illustrious Quad God.
What was his Quadzilla?
Lucas, look up how to say this guy's name.
Quadzilla.
Look up how to say Quad God's name. I need you for the pronunciation of this. You've been spot on for all the European names.
Quad God.
But he's an American.
Ilya Malinin.
He was supposed to be the prodigal son returned. He was supposed to be this prolific skater. And the whole time I'm watching it, listening to the announcers, oh, this guy, wait till he breaks out the quad flip something other that was supposed to be, oh, he's going to win him the gold. He's going to be incredible. But he did not even attempt. He didn't even attempt this illustrious quad flip spin in the air that he was supposed to do. Instead, he tried to play it safe. He was the betting favorite to win gold in men's freestyle figure skating. He failed twice and ended up getting 8th place. The quad god fallen to, well, now he's the Ocho god. He's double backed his space. I'm not for it. You're on the Olympics. You need to shoot for gold. This is not a place to play it safe. You've been busting your butt for 4 years to do this, and then you don't even try the thing that people have been building you up to do? You're a loser. You're an embarrassment to the United States. Don't let him come back.
Did you guys watch any of that's very extreme. Did you guys watch any of the figure skating?
It's electric.
I got up out of my chair watching the Canadian team. It was like an emotional performance. The figure skating pairs. I'm not sure what the exact terminology is, but it was awesome. The figure skating this weekend was electric.
Now, need to watch Blades of Glory again.
This guy.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's
really?
Very underrated.
Really?
Very underrated.
I haven't seen that in the basketball one. What's the basketball one?
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro. You need to have a movie marathon.
Those are the two Will Ferrell movies missing from my repertoire.
Oh, great cast.
John Hader.
John Heater?
Napoleon Dynamite. It's probably his best actual role.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was awesome. Yeah. Will Arnett is great in both of those movies, too. This is Ilya Malinin is from Virginia. His mother, Tatiana, was an Olympic skater who competed for Uzbekistan, but he was born in Virginia. He is the one who pulled off the backflip that was banned for 50 years in the Olympics. I saw that the other week, but yeah, he fell twice to Robert's point and greatly disappointed.
Goober alert. We're only champions here. Don't let him come back.
This dude is...
Stay in Italy until you can do the flips.
In terms of medals right now?
We've got an Olympic update.
Are we lagging pretty badly as a country? Are we getting dusted?
You do need to see this dude doing a backflip on skates.
Don't care.
It was banned for 5 decades.
What place did he come in? He needs to keep back flipping to cross that Atlantic Ocean if he wants to come back.
Send him to ESPN 8.
Yes, send him to the Ocho.
The Ocho.
You're not allowed back here. You can maybe go to Canada.
615-730. Their curling team is getting accosted for cheating. You had a Canadian curler tell a Swedish curler to bleep off the other day on live television. It's electric.
Okay, that's cool. He has to go to Cuba.
615-737-1045. Tell us what in sports made you say, oh no, for the opportunity to win these Russell Dickerson tickets. Let's start with Zach in Chattanooga.
Hey, Buck. What made me say, oh no, this week is today marks exactly an entire month since my alma mater, University of Tennessee Chattanooga, won a game on a weekend.
In hoops?
Yes, men's basketball. Women's, they're actually still good.
That's tough.
Oh, man, that's a good submission.
Sorry for your losses, plural.
He sounded beat up about it.
I feel like he's called us before, and he just has kind of like a...
He calls every
bit of an Eeyore tone about him.
Zach calls for every call-in segment that we do, and we love his contributions.
Well, he's never won?
He wins. Sometimes he foregoes the prize. He just plays for the love of the game.
I love that.
We love that.
All right, Kevin is in Fairview.
Hit it,
Buck. Calling in about the Canadian curling guy. I'm dropping the F-bomb right in the middle of the broadcast.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're third in the medal count.
If you're not first, you're last. Thank you for the call, Kevin. Yeah. Team Canada getting accosted from all sides for cheating allegations in the curling, and one of them let loose an expletive on NBC.
Can't trust those Canadians.
Chad is in Cool Springs.
Hey, guys. I have something that happened in a high school basketball game, local Nashville, top-level private school basketball game. There was a situation where one of the teams had two dads that were sitting on the front row coaching their kids in lieu of the actual head coach of the team coaching their kids, and which personally I think shouldn't be happening anyways. The funny moment came when at about the fourth quarter, the game had tightened up. It was really critical. There was a break in the action, and the teams were using it as like a mini timeout. Players go over to their huddles. talk to their coach, get a new play. How are we going to defend this? How are we going to run the play? Well, the point guard for one of the teams, whose dad was really hardcore coaching him throughout the game, goes over to the other side of the gym to have a huddle with his dad, and the guy on the other team proceeded to continue guarding him all the way over and was guarding him while he was talking to his dad on the front row.
What?
And it was not a good thing. It was a no-no moment.
Okay. That's excessive. Youth sports parents,
Yeah.
naturally. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's always a good submission.
I feel like a call with my dad. I
What do you
got
mean?
stuff to do. Sorry, can I call you back later?
Don't be mean. Chad did his best. Kevin is in Hendersonville.
Hey, guys. I know y'all talked about the Canadian curling team, but I would just like to make my own overarching just cheating in the Olympics. So not only did the Canadian curling team cheat twice by touching the rocks, but I didn't get the call in last week, so maybe you talked about this, but the whole ordeal with the male ski jumpers taking, if you want to call it for better terms, male enhancement to make
Yes.
a certain body part larger and to get bigger suits so they can get further distances. So I guess you know what they say, bigger suits means, I don't know, but I think that's pretty crazy. And when I heard that, I think that was an oh no moment for me.
Just come out and say
Yeah,
it, Kevin.
that's
They
a
were
good one.
injecting themselves in the penis.
Yes, that I'm surprised we didn't get to that, actually, because that was a pretty crazy
it's
story.
a stunning upset that we as a show did not talk about the penile injections of the male skiers. All right, very
Got to
good.
do what you got to do to win.
All right, Kevin is the winner.
And where do they get those injections?
for research sake.
The Tennessee Men's Clinic.
Oh, there you go.
615-737-1045 is the number. We got a mock draft to talk about next.
Hey, it's Lucas to tell you about Hattie B's Hot Chicken. So many great things about Hattie B's. Where to begin? The chicken, the hot chicken in and of itself, hot or not, whatever works for you, the best in the world. The sides, they prioritize them like, if you're me, you feel is very important. The desserts, the banana pudding, which, by the way, if you download the app, you get a free dessert simply by downloading the app. You can order for pickup or delivery. Another great thing about Hattie B's is there's one near you across Middle Tennessee, whether it's at the factory in Franklin, Melrose, Midtown, Charlotte Pike. I live in East Nashville. They're building up a Hattie B's on Gallatin Ave that I'm very excited about. Nissan Stadium, when you're there in the offseason, taking in a concert, and coming to Geodis Park. That's right. On Saturday, when you're in attendance at any Nashville SC game this season, or this Saturday, the opener against New England, you can enjoy Hattie B's hot chicken from the comfort of your own seat as you watch the boys in gold. Hattie B's spreading like wildfire. Go to HattieB.com or download the app today. 11:05. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Starting today, NFL teams can begin applying transition or franchise tags through March 3rd. A couple of running backs that reportedly are unlikely to receive a tag, including Jets running back Breece Hall and Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker. Nashville Soccer Club begins its 2026 campaign tonight in CONCACAF Champions Cup. They go north of the border to face Atletico Ottawa with kickoff at 7 p.m. on FS2. MLS play begins Saturday at home against New England. The club yesterday announced an extension for manager BJ Callahan through the 2028-29 season. Olympic hockey this morning. Preds captain Roman Josi scored a power play goal as Switzerland beat Italy 3-0. That sets up a knockout round meeting between Finland and Switzerland. UC Saros, Roman Josi facing off tomorrow. On Monday, USA women routed Sweden 5-0. They move on to the gold medal final. They will face Canada on Thursday. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to the show. The second hour is upon us, and we have a mock draft to discuss. For what it's worth, there is a press conference tomorrow. They are going to put Brian Daboll and Gus Bradley, new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator, in front of the media. Now, normally, we would carry that press conference live, but the Titans have decided that press conferences are not to be carried live at this point in time. So we're going to have a bit of a discussion, it sounds like, about that because it seems
dumb.
I would agree.
Oh, I meant to say that in Lucas's ear. That's my fault.
I don't know. Feels a bit short-sighted. Feels like you're depriving the vast majority of your audience the opportunity to hear from, I don't know, your biggest acquisition of the offseason.
He probably is.
Is there going to be a bigger free agent signing than Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans in 2026?
Who would be? Who would qualify as a bigger free agent signing?
Oh, who's the biggest name on the free agent market right now? I don't even think there's a free agent that is, I mean, it's not that sexy of a free agent class generally, but like, I don't know, some right guard gonna put you over the top. That Eric Reed says, how can the Titans not allow a press conference to be live? It's a press conference. Well, yes, I would agree. It's a new thing that they're doing. I don't know why they're doing it. Well, I do know why. The explanation that's been provided to me is they want the YouTube clicks. Okay. I've seen their YouTube channel. And, you know, not to denigrate any of the good work that the content people are over there doing, but I wouldn't say that it's an overwhelming help what they're trying to do with their live streams via YouTube at this point in time.
Well, spitefully, I don't even want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like now, we're not allowed to run it. Well, it makes me not even want to talk about the situation, but that would be doing a disservice to the people that listen to the show. So it puts, I don't know, all of us in a stupid position. Oh, let's just wait 20 minutes to run this. It's just makes no sense.
Yes, that is the alternative that is being provided to us.
Yeah, we can run it after it's over.
Run it after the fact. But that feels like it's not putting Lucas and Robert in the best possible position to succeed because I will be at the press conference, and what are the two of you going to do, read tweets?
Oh, we'll figure something
we're
out.
going to figure out our favorite Pokemon and talk about zoo animals, I guess.
Yeah,
so
name presidential facts.
It feels like a disservice to the audience in general. Maybe they will see that it's not going to provide the kind of benefit to Titans fans that they think that is, and maybe they genuinely think it's going to provide an additional benefit to Titans fans. I respectfully disagree with that assessment. So, there is a press conference. It's scheduled for noon. Tune in and find out if Robert and Lucas can carry it or not. Like, even if it's just the audio, right? Just run the damn audio. They can keep the YouTube video. I know the video is a nice component to have, and we do have that ability, but, like, if they're worried about just the video, You can keep your video. We just want your fan base to hear from your new coaching hires because, for once, people are actually excited about your product. You've given them a reason to be excited about your product, and now you're going to say, hey, why don't you wait 20 minutes to hear about the product a little more? Tune in exclusively to the YouTube channel to find out. So, a little bit of administrative stuff that's being worked through at this particular point in time. You want to talk about this mock draft? Mock draft Tuesday? That put you in a better mood?
I didn't. Dadgummit.
Mock draft Tuesday.
Hold on.
You have a song?
I do, but you made me so perturbed with that damn news. I didn't even do my edit. So just.
It's ironic that the two of you have a worse tone about Titans-related subject matter than I do.
Because it's stupid.
I agree.
Stupid. Like, you're literally handicapped. It's not even about us. It's about the people listening. Because at the end of the day, that's what our job is. It's to be informative or entertaining or whatever sector you want to put us in. Right.
This is, in theory, a news program. I mean, I know we get a little sideways every once in a while. Allegedly. But that, in the rare moment where we do go into news-gathering mode, it feels appropriate that we would play the press conference for the local professional football team in a live fashion, as opposed to sitting around and waiting for 20 minutes for Lucas and Robert to run it on delay. So, anyway, Mock Draft Tuesday?
I don't have it yet. Just talk about the mock draft, and I will play you the new edited Tuesday version when I get around to it. It's a lot of heavy lifting back here, a lot of making sure levels and other radio terms.
You didn't edit it?
No, I didn't edit it. I've been perturbed. I've been upset. I don't think I've been this bad at work since you called out.
The interesting wrinkle in Daniel Jeremiah's...
It's sick.
Yeah.
The two of you are going to give me a hard time.
But he was partying it up at Bridgestone Arena the same night.
About taking time off.
Oh, I'm sick.
The two of you are really going to give me a hard time about taking time off. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, there is a mock draft. 2.0, Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network.
See here how defensive he got, Robert? He definitely faked sick. There's no doubt in my mind. There's absolutely no doubt.
I will explain to you the circumstance in the commercial break. It is not for air.
The interesting wrinkle about this mock draft is something that Robert and I discussed yesterday, where a lot of folks seem to have Arvell Reese, the linebacker turned edge rusher out of Ohio State, as edge one. Dan Brugler went as far as to make Arvell Reese his number one overall prospect in his top 100 on The Athletic. We'll see if that holds true when the beast comes out a little bit later on in the draft process. But Daniel Jeremiah instead has David Bailey as the first edge rusher off the board at pick number 2 to the Jets. Bailey, the most productive of these edge rushers, 14.5 sacks last season, led FBS. He has the Titans taking Reuben Bain Jr. at 4, which Field Yates had as low as, what was it, Robert, 9 or 10, that he had Bain going off the board in his mock draft?
I think 10 to Cincinnati was where he was at.
So I guess it depends on the individual mock drafter, right? Because Daniel Jeremiah is a talent evaluator. You're right. I'm glad we waited for that.
Told you it was a lot of heavy lifting.
Daniel Jeremiah writes,
is the sum of our production value just Robert editing over his aged out production?
So much better that way.
Monotone, Kirby Smart.
I'd so much rather have it that way. Jeremiah writes, Reuben Bain's temperament and playing style.
I just tried to sell this show as a news program, a professional news operation, and we got Mock Draft Tuesday.
Will perfectly complement Jeffrey Simmons.
We should have Ross do it. We should just have Ross monotone his way. Ross, it's the only usefulness for Ross anymore on the show.
That would be good. Mixed in with your singing.
Tuesday.
I'll get him to cut it. 1 second. We'll do it at the end of the segment.
Back there, mouth breathing.
He says, Bain, he's up on Ross. He never did anything to you. Bain and Simmons are cut from the same cloth, according to Jeremiah, and how they play the game.
My takeaway from this is Daniel Jeremiah thinks Reuben Bain is a productive enough player beyond just the physical, I don't want to call them deficiencies. I mean, arm length, shorter arms for a pass rusher is considered a physical deficiency. He would be a completely normal human being under different circumstances, but where we're evaluating them like livestock, basically, at the NFL Combine, and where there is a legit argument for arm length to factor into the productivity at the professional level when you're going up against a different caliber of offensive linemen, some people are going to hold it against Reuben Bain Jr., some people aren't. Because the David Bailey dude, what's the biggest argument against David Bailey from Texas Tech?
You tell me. I mean, is there not a depth of moves there in his arsenal? Is it the quality competition? I don't know. He did nothing but get home and affect quarterbacks last season.
So the knock is finesse, that he's a smaller build. He's basically Harold Landry size. He's 6'3", 250. So Harold was not the most dominant player out on the edge. He's a functional edge player, and he's got some moves in his arsenal. And Harold also had and still does, has the athletic versatility to drop back into coverage and give you some more. You can disguise more things if you've got a player that can do multiple things within your defense. But the NFL comparison, and this is a tough comparison to have if you're going to knock a guy, is Nick Benito.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nick Benito, yes, please.
No, that is the one thing that I will say is it is a little bit counter to the Titans' edge strategy last year. Because what did they go out and target last year as far as their edge guys were concerned and who they acquired? So that's Femi,
Draymond Jones,
who was ultimately traded to the Ravens, and Jihad Ward. What's the theme?
Bigger bodies,
bigger,
stockier
they
builds.
Set the edge.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, hell, there was a period of Draymond Jones' career where he was playing inside at times. Like, these guys are physically bigger, tougher to move than the recent Titans edge acquisitions had been. Now, they're also changing defenses. So you're talking about down defensive linemen versus, what they've had in the past, which is kind of a 3-4 look, or 2 down defensive linemen, 2 stand-up edge rushers. Maybe one has his hand on the ground, maybe one doesn't, right? It's a different defense, so maybe that changes some of the parameters that they would have for their edge players. But I don't have a problem with David Bailey. I don't have a problem with Arvell Reese. I don't necessarily have a problem with Reuben Bain. But obviously you want the best of the bunch if you're going to be able to get into that business. And for them to pick 4, they're probably going to end up with the second best pass rusher or whomever, the Jets deem is the second best pass rusher, right? Because the Jets are going to look to juice their pass rush a little bit. Sounds like. They've got multiple first-round picks. They've got 1,000,001 needs, just like the Titans do. They could go basically any direction but quarterback because they've got all the first-round picks in the world right now, but it doesn't sound like Vegas is going to move off Mendoza. 615-737-1045 is how you chime in if you would like to. Let's go to Keith in Laverne.
Hey, guys. Huge Canes fan here, born and raised in Miami. Watch every Canes game. I really like Reuben Bain, but when he got to the Canes, I think he was probably 20, 25 pounds lighter. And then this last year he played at a much heavier weight and his game changed. But I kind of hope that I feel like he's going to have a lot of pressures, but he's not going to have the big sack totals. Kind of reminiscent of a Derek Morgan almost in terms of setting the edge, holding the line, making plays, tackles for loss. But I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to be a 10, 15 sack per game unless unless the quarterback's holding onto the ball. But I do think he's a guy that's going to create pressure a hell of a lot more than anybody else that we got on that line right now besides Jeffrey.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, I mean, the benefit is they don't have anybody really besides Jeffrey to create pressure. Of their edge guys, Jihad Ward, and, part of that's because they traded Draymond Jones, but Jihad Ward was their leading guy in terms of pressures last year. That's not Jihad Ward's game. We are going to have BJ Callahan. Whoa. I like it.
What a turnaround.
I like it a lot. It's the
High-level production.
It's the first thing Ross has done that I've liked.
Well done, Ross.
Well done. Just look at the turnaround time on that. Expert work. Expert. It only took 3 of you.
Like a net. Yeah.
Wave to the camera. Let the
It
camera
only
see
took
you.
3 of you to figure out how the hell to get that done.
Like a NASCAR pit crew. Seamless.
Tuesday.
Somebody said the YouTube chat is so confused. Tough. We can't do it all for you, okay? We're trying to carry the Titans press conference for you. We can't even do that. BJ Callahan, head coach of Nashville SC, who just got an extension. Next. You've got one life, and it's too short for not nows, maybe laters, and tomorrows. If you're noticing issues with ED or performance, then your relationship, your confidence, and even your career has already been affected. Online folks promise convenience and discretion, but their treatments are generic and some even unsafe. Guys, no more excuses. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is the state's first men's health-focused urology practice. Multiple urologists and providers focus solely on male performance. No unproven snake oil or peptides without solid research. Since 2014, they've pioneered men's health in Tennessee and have been testing and growing to make sure you get the best care and the safest, most effective treatments. Call 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 right now, or book online in under 30 seconds at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Best hot chicken in the world. We've got the YouTube chat all bothered now because they can't hear your fine production work back there. What kind of efforts are you making? I see you trying to bargain with them, saying you're working on it. What are you working on back there for the YouTube chat?
I'm working on making things they can hear, but I don't know, dude. This is so inside baseball, but like rights-free music sucks. It's all terrible.
There's a reason why it's rights-free.
And there's a reason that the reason that Mock Draft Monday sounds, I don't think it sounds good. I'm not going to call it that. But like the reason it sounds notable.
It's good for us.
It's because you know the song.
Yeah.
There's not a rights-free Monday song that's worth a damn.
Is the song called Manic Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
By The Who?
Is it?
No, he's asking. What are you talking about, man?
I don't know.
It's a female vocalist, you idiot.
Is the Who a male band? I don't know.
It was like,
stop.
I would have said by the. He would have said,
you don't think that was
you
don't think that was completely organic, me asking him genuinely if that was the Who.
Nobody thinks you're that ignorant.
You're wrong. No, I remember the Who. They did that halftime show where they all looked like you feared they were going to die on stage. They're very old.
The Bangles. The Bangles is the group that sings Manic Monday. It was written by Prince.
Oh.
Of what country?
Just Prince. Of the country of Minnesota.
Feels like a separate country right now. That's the conversation for TN. Anyway. So we will have BJ Callahan because Nashville SC gets their season. All right. So CONCACAF, they have a CONCACAF game tonight. That is not going to be on our air?
Correct. We do the Major League Soccer games.
Okay. And their MLS season starts on Saturday.
Correct.
Okay.
They qualified for CONCACAF Champions Cup, which think Champions League in Europe, but for North America, because they won U.S. Open Cup, the American domestic competition that qualified them for CONCACAF Champions Cup, which, by the way, only 3 MLS teams have ever won in its history. It's largely dominated by Mexican teams, by big clubs out of Mexico. Messi's Miami lost it this past year in the semifinal, and it went on to be won by a Mexican club. So they will be in Canada playing Ottawa tonight. They will return to host Ottawa next week, but in between, yes, they host New England Saturday to start the 2026 MLS campaign.
Okay. So we will talk to BJ Callahan in a matter of seconds, right? He's supposed to be on with us at 11:30.
Yeah, and the expectation is just kind of to build on what Nashville did last year, where it felt they were a little ahead of schedule. An exciting brand of soccer, a lot of goals. Sam Surridge, 30-plus goals. Hani Mukhtar, very productive again, and they've added to it and are looking to build and seek more silverware in 2026, and they've locked in BJ to do it.
So Robert has BJ in the Zoom, but we're working through some camera stuff right now, so we will welcome BJ Callahan here in just a moment, and looking forward to another Nashville SC season. Which is the first game that you're on?
Oh, we'll get to that.
You haven't
reveal the whole schedule.
Figured out the schedule just yet?
No, excited to get things rolling. The opener is this weekend against New England, but Nashville is north of the border currently. Do we have BJ, Robert? Okay, working on getting BJ in here. I wonder how cold it is in Ottawa right now.
Is that where your mind goes to food first and your mind goes to weather first?
It does.
BJ Callahan here with us now on 104.5 The Zone. First and foremost, BJ, congratulations, not just on the season that you guys had leading up. We haven't talked to you for some time, but on the extension. I know I saw a bit of your press conference the other day. I'm sure you're excited to have gotten that done and now get on with the regular season, but we would be remiss if we did not congratulate you on the new deal. What do you? We absolutely will get to the roster because there have been some serious roster moves here in the last couple of months for Nashville SC. But just on the subject of you and your time here, and I know it's a little uncomfortable to talk about yourself, but we're going to make you do it anyway. The idea of when you got the opportunity to come be the coach here in Nashville, What did you see, and it may be many of the things that you just named, that gave you the idea that this could be something that can compete at the highest level in MLS?
For that partnership. You're looking for alignment with vision, mission, and values. I think that comes from John at the top. A club that is ambitious, but I would say does it in a humble and hungry way. And I think that aligned with me and my personal values. And then when you see the support on and off the field that the club has, and sort of the support and that the players have, I think that gives you belief that the ambition and the vision can come true. And then you link it lastly with sort of the support and the energy of the city and the energy of the fan base. And when you link those sort of three things together, you know that it's a place that I believe that can have sustained success. That's what I think we're all looking for. And then also pursue trophies at the same time.
Nashville SC coach BJ Callahan is our guest here on 104.5 The Zone. They got a CONCACAF match tonight in Ottawa. Their MLS season gets started on Saturday.
Yeah, an early chance, BJ, to test the squad depth that is critical in a season when you're playing multiple different competitions, 3 different competitions this year, with Major League Soccer obviously as the most consistent and frequent, but kind of a chance to jump in with both feet here, right? To play Ottawa tonight and then again next week with a match against New England sandwiched in on Saturday. How much are you guys embracing that challenge of being able to test that depth, some of the acquisitions you made in the offseason so early?
Yeah, I mean, I think when everybody kind of comes together in preseason, and it's a fresh start for everybody, a new chapter for the club and for the team, and then come right out of the gate and have, sort of a couple games back to back to back. I think everybody knows they're going to get called on, is motivated. And I think that leads to a good sense of urgency across the board, across the whole roster. And really looking forward to, I think we're all, after 6 weeks of preseason, looking forward to competing in meaningful matches, and getting everybody opportunities to kind of play and showcase themselves.
I remember last year you talking before the season started about the objective of scoring 50 goals during the MLS regular season. You cited some data that teams that score 50 or more goals, more often than not, get into the postseason. Well, you smashed that club record. You got well past 50, obviously won a trophy along the way, got into the postseason. Now, as you head into 2026, any similar objectives that you've laid out with the group before this first matchup against Ottawa and then Saturday against New England?
I think for us, it's about trying to, just be better versions of ourselves. And so those same objectives arise. We know that those objectives are historically built to be a winning team in the MLS and also a winning team to go through sort of CONCACAF Champions Cup. And so, I think for us, it's more about, can we be more consistent and do it for the whole season, and really push the limits to the group. So, I don't think we come in with any real expectations. We're a group that believes that you got to turn the page each and every day. And that's what this group does, is they come to work every day, they turn the page, and we're, and are grateful for the opportunity to compete each time that we get to take the field and represent Nashville.
Well, when you talk about trying to elevate what you were doing a year ago, Nashville SC fans obviously very excited about the acquisition of Christian Espinoza, who's been a star player in this league, 2-time MLS All-Star, the all-time assist leader for the San Jose Earthquakes. And suddenly he's a free agent, and now he's a Nashville SC winger. What have the first few weeks been like with Christian and integrating him into the lineup and just trying to see how that will fit with Hani Mukhtar and Sam Surridge to elevate what you were doing from an attacking standpoint a year ago?
Yeah, sure. I think whenever you look at integrating a new player, it's both on and off the field. So I think Christian's done a great job coming into the group. I would say embodying what a Nashville player is, selfless, humble, hungry, hardworking. And so, I think right away he's endeared himself to the teammates. And then you obviously have on the field, which he's a really talented winger. He's a goal threat, but most importantly, he's a guy who wants to make his teammates shine. And he's a playmaker. at heart. And so I think, it's an added weapon to our attack that I hope can, obviously keep Hani and Sam and Christian scoring goals, but also unlock some other guys, because we know we're going to need contributions from a lot of guys across the roster throughout this whole season.
It sounded like Espinosa's free agency was a kind of a unique circumstance. How quick were you guys as an organization to kind of, one, realize that he was going to be available, and two, capitalize on that to add him to your club?
Yeah, I mean, I think, credit goes to I would say Mike and Chance and the guys in sort of who do this day to day and monitor these type of things inside the league and all of the MLS nuanced mechanisms on how you can acquire players. And then really then you have the commitment from John Ingram, who, when this opportunity arose, Christian's always been a player that we've had and that we thought across the league, as you evaluate, identified and with what we want to do here at Nashville. And so, yeah, I think when it presented itself, it was a really good display of kind of the collaboration of how we work at Nashville, from ownership to management to obviously the coaching staff, and how the alignment of wanting to build a roster, and I would say how nimble that you can be and how quick you can make those decisions. So again, I think it was great. It's great for the whole club and something that we can all celebrate.
I understand it's far more complicated than the idea that I have in my head of Mike just sitting in front of a bunch of monitors, hitting refresh and seeing if players are available or not. I understand it's a little more detailed than that.
Yeah, it is a little bit more detailed than that. And there's a lot of mechanism and nuances that go into sort of some of the rules of the MLS. But again, I think it's a testament to sort of just how the club is able to operate and be flexible and be quite able to respond to opportunities that arise. And great. And I think, at the same time, Nashville, its city, and Nashville, the team, was able to sell itself to somebody like Christian, and who aligned with the vision and the mission of where we want to go with this club.
BJ, it is a crisp 36 degrees currently in Ottawa. I know you know that because you're in Ottawa as we speak. Might dip below freezing when you guys kick off tonight on FS2. How much did the icy conditions of Nashville and the ice storm that came through kind of callous you guys on the practice field, with a few guys that probably aren't as accustomed to playing in freezing cold temperatures?
Yeah, it's a great point. Of course, for the majority of Nashville, it was quite an epic winter storm. And, obviously, I think first and foremost, we were thinking about the people of Nashville and thinking about our players and the safety of their families. But we did actually have the opportunity to train on our turf, which our game will be on turf today, in sort of quite freezing temperatures.
Oh, hell.
Colder than tonight. So
I thought he was joking.
So no, again, we're a group that kind of puts our head down and gets to work, and we view this as a great opportunity to kind of say, hey, this is what it's going to be like in the first game. So let's learn how to prepare. Let's learn how to, how we want to dress and how we want to eat and how we want to try to stay warm and how we want to play. And the group really embraced it. And I think, tonight it should pay dividends for us. And like you said, it's not even close to as cold as it was. So it should feel quite tropic for us.
Well, we're looking forward to having you guys back in action, and certainly the city has enjoyed the resurgence of Nashville SC, and I know you guys are looking to build upon your success from a year ago. Thank you for the time, BJ. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me, guys.
That is Nashville SC head coach BJ Callahan. Their game against Ottawa in Ottawa tonight at 7 p.m. MLS play back on the Zone on Saturday.
They host New England Revolution Saturday night at Geodis Park. And it's going to be a weird year. World Cup mixed in. So MLS takes a break of about a month and a half right in the middle of the season. It's like this mini offseason in the middle of the season. So it'll be an interesting calendar for sure.
It's crazy that I'm sure people feel this way about football where I'm telling people, yeah, we're getting ready to go to Indianapolis for a week for the combine, and football season basically just ended. Like, I feel like MLS just ended and they're already back.
For teams that were in the final, the MLS Cup final was played on December 9th. And report date for a lot of teams for the start of preseason is like January 10th.
If you're a fan of this show's high-level radio production, you're going to want to stick around because we have an Olympic update coming next.
Oh, yes. Redemption, success, failure, and everything in between. For that, we go to one fat-assed Lucas Panzica.
You have the build of one of these speed skaters. I don't know if you've seen a way that. No, not you.
You should see me on ice skates.
I can't imagine how unathletic. You're unathletic on dry land.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
You're telling me I wouldn't be fast on skis? If it was downhill skiing, I bet you I would beat every one of them.
You would be one of these tragic accidents where Lindsey Vonn has fractured her leg in 4 different places.
I was thinking about this. What would you rather do? Bobsled or luge? What looks more fun?
Oh, bobsled. Right? Luge looks terrible.
It looks horrifying.
Terrifying.
What's the head first luge?
What?
Yeah.
Head first?
There's a head first luge.
Yeah.
Where you can see mostly everyone's talking about it because of the recoil, the motion of everyone that is riding these things.
Well, the only thing breaking your impact is your head. Yes.
It is terrifying.
No, I don't want anything to do with it. No luge. No luge at all.
Oh, my God. If we could do
I want a tequila luge. That's it.
What's the Cool Runnings? We are a bobsled team. I would be cool with that if we could come up with like our own little bobsled jingle.
Were y'all Boy Scouts?
Yes.
Did you do derby races?
Yeah, like the pine car derbies or whatever.
Like wooden cars.
You make the little pine cars.
Yeah, you make them look cool. You can paint them however you like.
It's pine wood derby.
Yeah.
Not pine cars. Those little wood cars.
Okay. All right. Did your Boy Scout troop ever make a hovercraft out of a leaf blower? I think not.
How would that help you in any circumstance?
Doesn't matter.
All right, children, gather round. We're going to forego the knot tying and the fire making, and we're going to show you how to make something that's practically useless.
Keep your pine cars.
But
flying around in as an inner tube with a damn leaf blower tied to it.
You could customize them, make them look cool if you wanted to put your favorite team on there, like make it look like a NASCAR,
or you could try to win.
Sure, you can go for the aerodynamics, sure. But I like how the bobsleds all look completely different and have different, cool designs for that respective country. It reminds me of those days as a Boy Scout.
It's kind of like goalie helmets where you can customize them, especially like the country-specific ones.
So
awesome.
Norway leads the total medal count with
skeleton is the head first luge. That's right, where they have some of the most ornate, decorated helmets.
Oh, it's gnarly.
Oof.
Norway with 30 total medals. Italy is second with 24. Italy has already broken its own Winter Olympics record for total medals. The U.S. is third with 20, 4 back of the host Italians. The U.S. is tied for third in the gold medal count, tied with the Netherlands with 6. Norway is head and shoulders. They have 13 gold medals in these Olympics. Italy has 9. But the hockey is starting to draw people's attention. First of all, the U.S. women, man.
Wagon.
Oh, my goodness. Just slaughtering everybody in front of them. They have outscored opponents 31-1 in these Olympics. They have advanced to the gold medal final, which will be played against Canada on Thursday after the U.S. mopped the floor with Sweden 5-0. Meanwhile, Team USA men's hockey will begin its knockout round journey tomorrow. So they are just now getting into the knockout round. Some former Preds in action earlier this morning. Roman Josi scored a goal as Switzerland knocked off Italy 3-0. That sets up a knockout round meeting between 2 Predators, Roman Josi versus, 3, I should say. Josi versus Finland and goalie Jussi Saros, as well as Eric Haula. So that will happen tomorrow, I believe, in the men's knockout rounds. Everybody say a prayer and keep in mind the Italian hockey players. Just think about them. Just send them some good vibes.
Who are you rooting for?
Because they've had a tough couple of weeks.
No, that's his answer.
They've had a brutal couple of weeks.
He's tired of seeing his country dragged in the Winter Olympics and the host country.
Listen, number 2 in the total medal count and gold medal count, but not in hockey.
Communist.
I don't think any Italian. I have never met an Italian that ever gave a damn about hockey. I'm surprised they even have a federation, that they even have a team, but they are the host nation, so they did put out a men's and women's hockey team. And oh my goodness, it was brutal. The men have been outscored 23-2 in 4 games of hockey. Not 8 or 9, 4 games. Outscored 23-2. Remember when Slay was telling us yesterday, Robert, about playing professionally in Italy and how he was baffled that during halftime he would have teammates drinking espresso and smoking cigarettes by the window at halftime of these games.
Aren't the fans in the Chinese league allowed to smoke cigarettes in the venue?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But that's what I imagine with these Italian hockey players at intermission. They're just getting blasted. It's 4-0 after the first period, and they're all just leaned over by a window like, oh, mamma mia, smoking cigarettes.
All right.
That felt discriminatory.
I can do it.
Mussolini Panzica. Let's get back to the USA, all right?
He said, mamma mia. And then said, I can do it.
He's like, that's our word. Spicy meatball.
By the way, Norway's big lead can be attributed largely to Johannes Høsflot Klæbo, who made history by earning his 9th career Olympic gold medal a few days ago, winning gold in the men's 4x7.5 kilometer relay. That is the most of any Winter Olympian of all time. Johannes Høsflot Klæbo of Norway, the Michael Phelps of the Winter Olympics.
Oh, okay. Very good. Are you offended by that? He's a Ravens fan. You look like you were personally offended by a Michael Phelps comparison.
No, I'm not down with all the hinga-dinga-durgan upgrades or updates.
That actually is discriminatory.
What are we doing? Stop giving me these gelatinous fish-eating updates about anybody from Norway or Sweden. They're too nice. They're too neutral. We don't care about their swatches.
Their chocolate is great.
What are we doing?
So the next event today, we've got a final in bobsled that there is an American duo involved in, but there are 3 German duos. So the Germans, big into the bobsled or bobsleigh, as many will call it. Yes.
Okay.
There is more curling, more preliminary curling happening today. How much curling happens at the Olympics?
A lot of curling. I feel like every time I turn on, because Turner and NBC have done this correctly, where it's just on all of their channels, like reruns. You don't know whether it's live. You don't know whether it's aired earlier.
Tells you if it's live.
Well, sure, but like if you're just flipping blindly through the channels and you see curling, are you really paying attention to the timeliness of it? It just feels the Olympics are the ultimate, whether it's summer or winter, they are the ultimate thing for sports fans. It's why I don't understand why there's not more coverage on them on major networks that are not named NBC. Every time I turn on ESPN, it's just NBA. And I guess that's a rights thing.
We've got men's big air freestyle skiing finals happening later this afternoon, right around 12:30. That'll get started. There's currently some hockey going on as Czechia is leading Denmark 3-2 at the moment. The U.S. men's hockey team will be back in action tomorrow with an opponent TBD to start their knockout round journey.
Are you familiar with Nate Heisey and Taylor Heisey?
No.
Taylor Heisey is a member of the aforementioned wagon that is the women's hockey team, the women's U.S. hockey team. They won 5-0 over Sweden, as Lucas mentioned earlier, and will play a gold medal round. Nate Heisey played a huge role in the upset of Houston last night. Number 6 Iowa State hosting number 2 Houston, 70-67, a huge comeback late by Iowa State. I was watching a lot of that game. They kept bringing up that Nate Heisey is the lesser athlete in his family after his sister won or contributed. I believe she scored a goal in the 5-0 victory over Sweden, but pretty good weekend. Well, I guess Monday for the Heisey family.
Pretty cool.
I love the Olympics. I feel like we should do more Olympic stuff. I feel like I've neglected it. All right. 2 Titans fits on the top 50 free agent list. We'll talk about it coming up next.
12:01, good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Beginning today, NFL teams can start applying transition or franchise tags through March 3rd. George Pickens, Kenneth Walker, and Trey Hendrickson have been potential franchise tag candidates, but Walker reportedly will not get the tag from the Seattle Seahawks. Nashville Soccer Club begins its 2026 campaign tonight in CONCACAF Champions Cup as they head north of the border to face Atletico Ottawa. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. You can watch the game on FS2. MLS play starts Saturday at home against New England. The club announced an extension for manager BJ Callahan Monday through the 2028-29 season. Earlier this morning in the Winter Olympics, Predators captain Roman Josi scored a power play goal. Switzerland beat Italy 3-0, setting up a knockout round meeting with Preds goalie Jussi Saros and Finland. And on Monday, the USA women's squad routed Sweden 5-0. They advanced to the gold medal final where they will face Canada on Thursday. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour is upon us. We're happy to have you, Robert, Lucas, and me, until 1 o'clock. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Teams can officially start franchise tagging or transition tagging players as of today. We are about a month out from the new league year, which means the start of NFL free agency. Now, Titans have a variety of different pending free agents. There are a few here and there that you might make the argument to return. I think we've talked about a few of those. There are all manner of lists about the top 50 free agents, the top 100 free agents. We will obviously have free agency before we get to the NFL draft. We will have combine before free agency. So next week, I don't know how I'm going to do for 4 nights living in the same house as Robert and Lucas and Kirby and Fitzy. It's going to be reminiscent of college. Lucas is accustomed to this. He was built for this. He's been living with, people. I mean, how long have you lived with multiple people in the same dwelling?
I've never been one to want to live alone, to be honest. But, yeah, it's been a minute.
It is going to be an interesting social experiment for a week up in Indianapolis because obviously the whole show is going up to Indy for the Combine, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned for you. So the preliminary discussions, even though they're not technically legal, around free agency will start in earnest at the Combine. There is a list, as there always is this time of year, of the top 50 free agents and the best team fits for the top 50 players, done by Matt Bowen, who used to be Greg Cosell's co-host on the NFL Matchup Show. Darius Butler now does it with Greg. But Matt Bowen is still doing film analysis and player analysis for ESPN.com. So they list a number of different players, and you have to scroll no further than 6th to find the first Titans free agent fit as projected by Matt Bowen. Titans have a need for wide receivers. Alec Pierce is a pending free agent wide receiver of the Indianapolis Colts. The write-up is with the Titans in position to be active in free agency. I like Pierce in Tennessee under new offensive coordinator Brian Dable. Pierce has the vertical stretch ability to produce down the field and can play a volume role as a multi-level target for Cam Ward. Pierce averaged a league-best 21.3 yards per catch with the Colts in 2025. So he's a long receiver that can get behind the secondary and make contested catches with big playability down the field. He also, as Matt Bowen says, has versatility to his game. So he's not just that, but he's got that. So if I presented you Alec Pierce, let me give you a menu of options. And you don't have to do just one, but it's probably just going to be one big ticket item, right? We're not expecting them to go crazy just because they have the cap space, which is going to lead us into a different conversation around Tua Tagovailoa and the Titans in the next segment. If I presented you Alec Pierce, at, I don't know, Robert, 28 mil? What's the projection on Spot Track right now? I bet he's not to the 30 million, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson mark, 30, 35. But let's say somewhere between 25 and 28. That's probably low for Alec Pierce. If I gave you Juwan Jennings at 22 AAV, or if I get old reliable, who just became a free agent yesterday, Nick Westbrook-Akina, wide receiver 1 for all time.
Think he's in this top 50?
I would not anticipate NWI in the top 50.
The answer is no. Juwan is at 28, and they say the best fit for him is Carolina.
If I gave you those 3 options, would you rather have Pierce, given what you currently have on the roster, assuming Calvin Ridley stays, which maybe isn't a safe assumption and something that we'll talk to Mike Borgonzi about and Brian Dable about, I'm sure, tomorrow. If Calvin Ridley's still here and you're adding a different kind of a player to your wide receiver room, what do you most need to make Calvin a complementary piece? Alec Pierce or Juwan Jennings, who himself has been more of a complementary piece?
Okay, I'm glad we're not pretending like Nick Westbrook-Akina will be on the same level of demand as those guys.
No. If you threw him like $3 million or something like that and got NWI back as your like 5th or 6th guy, I'm good.
I'd be very surprised, though.
Ian Manor is your next NWI.
Yeah, there's nothing tying NWI to the Titans anymore in terms of personnel, anybody that coached or drafted him at this point. Juwan Jennings or Alec Pierce? So you're talking about one of the better, just on this list, probably the best straight-up possession receiver on this list of free agents in Juwan Jennings, chain mover, blocker, tone setter, and certainly the best deep threat on this list is Alec Pierce. And one of the best deep threats in the NFL last season.
Was the best deep threat in the NFL last year.
So verticality or a security blanket type of player for Cam Ward? What is Cam Ward lacking more? Is kind of the question that it boils down to.
Well, he's also lacking the verticality because the vertical element last year wouldn't catch the damn ball until Arizona, and then he got hurt all year.
Ridley, yeah.
So the answer is both.
Yes.
But can you rehabilitate enough of Ridley to not justify the full spend on Alec Pierce? Because he would be, according to this, well, George Pickens is technically the best available free agent wide receiver. It is the expectation that the Cowboys will tag George Pickens, whether that happens today or now any point in the future while they have the window to tag players. George Pickens is expected to be a Dallas Cowboy in 2026. So if Alec Pierce is your best wide receiver available in free agency, in actual free agency, do we know that the Colts are going to let him walk? I know that Colts typically keep their guys. I haven't read much about, the other AFC South teams and their pending free agents, but that is Ballard's MO, that he drafts these, the thing that every team aspires to. He does draft them, and then he typically keeps them. I just don't know what their financial situation is right now.
So they got about a little over $30 million in cap space. The issue here is whether to keep Michael Pittman or not. So they can get out from underneath Michael Pittman. He has around a $28 million cap hit this season. They can cut him and make about 24 of that back up. So will they try to find a trade partner for Michael Pittman? If they want to tag Alec Pierce, it will be about a $28 million tag. He is projected to get between $20 and $24 million a year. So juggling that, they have the space, but if they were to tag or sign Pierce, it would eat a large amount of their money, and they still have a number of things to do with Daniel Jones coming off injury, the quarterback situation, a little bit of housekeeping for the Colts to do. So if they wanted to keep him, they have to figure out the Pittman situation because it's not we'll just tag him and not let him walk because they don't really have the money to do that right now.
Why wouldn't they get rid of Michael Pittman for the sake of Alex Pierce? Alec, not Alex.
I think there's an argument to be made that Pierce was effective, and to both your points about him being the best deep threat in the league, led the league in yards per reception the last 2 years in a row. Pittman is kind of like what Juwan Jennings was in the previous discussion, where he's a good possession guy, he gets open, he's going to draw a lot of doubles, draw a lot of attention, and if you take him away, then more attention could be placed on Pierce. So, there could be an argument that he got so open because of the box having to be filled for Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman being a possession receiver. So it just an offensive philosophy of a fiscal philosophy and how they want to manage those offensive weapons.
Yeah, I would just say, all right, give me Pearson Downs and let Pittman go.
Wan'Dale Robinson is also a guy that we bring up in relation to Brian Daboll, obviously coached him in New York, is a free agent. He is number 40 on this ranking of the top 50 free agents, and the best team fit projection is the Jets. Staying in the same stadium to play for the Jets instead of the Giants. He says, let's give the Jets a slot receiver who displayed more vertical ability in 2025 with the Giants. While the Jets must address QB this offseason, Robinson could pair with Garrett Wilson to give them a receiving presence both inside and outside the numbers. With at least 92 receptions in each of the last 2 years, Robinson is a volume target who can work multiple levels. Do we need to add Wan'Dale Robinson into this collection of receivers the Titans should consider to fill some of these needs?
Should they consider it? Of course. The value of him in a Brian Daboll offense should absolutely be considered. But my preference would be go find your own Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, I think Alec Pierce's skill set is more worthy of $24 to $28 million a year than is, I mean, I don't know, Robert. I hesitate to call players gadget players, but the Giants seemed with Hyatt and with Wan'Dale Robinson, and who's the other one that didn't want to play for them for a period of time and then came back? Slayton. Like, they're all kind of the same build. They're kind of the same player. Like, I'm sure they have a little bit of nuances to their various games.
Yeah, but Robinson's been productive. Hyatt has not.
Right.
It's a 1,000-yard receiver last year. Understanding that a lot of that was with Malik Neighbors out of the lineup.
Ridley was a 1,000-yard receiver. You know, it's just,
2 years ago,
there are different kinds of 1,000-yard receivers, right? There's actual impact versus, like, Chig was a leading receiver. Do we think that Chig made any outsized impact on the Titans last year?
If you want to bring up Calvin Ridley, Wan'Dale Robinson missed 1 game this year, 0 games the year before, and 2 games in 2023.
Well, then you're going to pay him a lot of money just to hope that he continues that trend in Tennessee, right? Like, that's my preference would be pay Jawan. That feels like a middle-class wide receiver option. You're not building a Super Bowl team this year, right? We're all in agreement. They're not winning the Super Bowl next year. Yeah? Like, they're not going to do what the Pats did. They're not going to get the easiest schedule in all of football. They're not going to go 14-3, end up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah,
we can put that fantasy aside, because I'm sure there's some people out there that say, why can't we? Just chill out, all right? Realistic approach. Give me a middle-class wide receiver option. Give me somebody who's complimentary to Calvin right now. I'm good with keeping Calvin. Calvin's cost-effective enough. They can make other moves elsewhere. Draft a wide receiver, obviously, in the second round or something like that. I'm good with it. Jawan gives me the attitude that I'm lacking outside of Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Ward. I need more mean on this football team. I need more physicality on this football team. That would lean into an identity of we are going to out-tough you, out-battle you at every turn. Not that Pierce isn't a tough guy or Wan'Dale Robinson isn't a tough guy and durable and all those things, but I know what I'm getting in Jawan Jennings, and I would rather pay a middle-class price for a wide receiver like that and add organically through the draft than I would pay top of market this year. Basically do what you did with Ridley, which is pay top of market money for a tier 2 wide receiver.
So you're saying Jawan over Alec Pierce?
That would be my preference. And draft, obviously, you're drafting a wide receiver. Draft the damn wide receiver. Please.
Yeah, can Chimere Dike offer some of that verticality that he didn't do as consistently last year? Obviously, his impact was in the return game, but that feels like the next step for Chimere Dike at the wide receiver position is to be a more consistent vertical threat down the field, which was his strength coming out of Florida. Jawan Jennings has those things in spades, like the toughness,
he's a crazy
mean
person.
dog. Yeah,
he's a crazy person.
Right. People know that
Unhinged.
well around here for sure.
Vandy fans still pissed.
Yes.
Like, and that's fine. Like, that's fine. But I want that guy on my team. I'll hate him if he plays on any other team, right? But I want that guy on my team.
Yeah, he had a career year in 2024 with the 77 catches, 975 yards, 6 touchdowns. Had a career high in touchdowns this year with 9. And had 643 yards, 55 catches. He has missed 2 games each of the last 2 years.
Do you disagree with my approach?
No, I don't think Cam at any point last year, because there are certain things that have to develop, right, for a player like Alec Pierce to be effective on the Titans, right? Pass protection has to be there. Routes have to have time to develop. Pierce has to win.
Cam has to know the offense. Like, he's learning a new offense, right? Are we going to grade on a curve of a new offense for the young quarterback? Or are we just going to come out in year 2 and be like, this guy's not getting it done if he looks, not totally with it for the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an obvious, requirement for Cam Ward this year. But he has not had anything close to what Juwan Jennings provides in terms of just those crucial down and distance situations, having that outlet, a reliable outlet that can shed a tackle or two after the catch. That's a consistent blocker on the outside that can make comeback catches. The Titans haven't had that kind of player since who?
Hop.
Yeah, Hopkins was that for Tannehill, then Levis.
Honestly, NWI did a little bit of that, but, somebody had to be out there to catch the passes. You know what I'm saying?
NWI just was there to catch the touchdowns, yes, but I never viewed him as like this, hey, when in doubt, throw to NWI kind of situation.
I think they kind of did. I think Levis and Rudolph both kind of did at the end. But, at that point, you're just chucking it up. I mean, obviously, that's not what they're doing, except for that one touchdown. Who did he throw his last touchdown pass to that season? Who was that wide receiver? Tay Martin?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Nah, was it? Yeah, someone like that.
I think it was Tay Martin. Little
Levis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tay Martin.
Nailed it. Titans trivia and, 15 years from now, who was Will Levis? I mean, we're assuming Will Levis's last regular season touchdown pass as a Titans quarterback. Maybe. So, other fits considered for the Titans in the top 50 free agents. So, Alec Pierce is one. There's another one listed at 30, and this addresses their most critical need this coming offseason, and that is edge. That is Boye Mafe. So, the blurb here. New Titans coach Robert Saleh has a real need for edge rushers in his defense. Mafe, who he parenthetically adds could also be a good fit for the Bengals, can be schemed out of loaded fronts to see more one-on-ones using his first step quickness and great effort level to hit the quarterback. Mafe had 2 sacks and 33 pressures last season with Seattle. So you're adding somebody who would increase the pressure, whether he's necessarily capitalizing with sacks, understanding that sacks are still important. You do need somebody besides Jeffrey who can get pressure.
So he has him as the 30th ranked free agent here?
He is between Javonte Williams, the running back, and Isaac Suamalo. Is that how I pronounce it?
So the edge rushers ranked ahead of him in this top 50 are K'Lavon Chaisson at 27, whose best fit, according to Bowen, would be Baltimore. Robert and I were talking about this yesterday. Nobody loves and nobody utilizes an aging edge rusher better than the Baltimore Ravens. Although, how old is Chaisson at this point? It hasn't been that long.
No, he's not that old.
He's sub 30, I think.
He's still on his rookie deal, isn't he?
So maybe Khalil Mack, Robert. Can I interest you in Khalil Mack, who is the 22nd ranked free agent in this list?
Yeah, but go look at how much money 97-year-old Khalil Mack is projected to get, and that is a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
If I'm going to pay up for somebody, and if you're following Ravens trends, I think they would be targeting Bradley Chubb just because they love cut candidates, because it doesn't go against compensatory picks. They've got Tyler Linderbaum and Isaiah Likely. I think they'd like to get a little chunk of change back for those guys departing in free agency. So I would expect them to go after anyone that is cut, and that is usually where my board starts.
And Bradley Chubb, who was one of the main players released by the Dolphins yesterday, who they traded, what was the trade with Denver? I mean, it was a first-round pick plus, yeah?
I can't remember. I know it was a first, but I kind of thought it was a first straight up. But I can double check.
I think there were multiple picks associated with that trade. I initially wanted to say 2 firsts, but I don't think that can be so. Bradley Chubb is a name that's going to come up a lot for Titans fans because they know the name, right? He's a pedigree type of name. So a first and a fifth, Robert says in my ear.
Oh, no, I was wrong. It's a fourth. The Dolphins received a fifth.
Okay. So Miami gave Denver a first and a fourth for Bradley Chubb and a fifth. That's correct? Okay. Bradley Chubb's still going to make real money, though. Like, real, maybe not edge one money, not $40 million a year money, but he's going to take up a considerable amount of money. And if you're signing him here, one would imagine that's a long-term deal. I would like to avoid that if possible. I would like to go more what their MO is in free agency. Right. They had one big ticket item, Dan Moore last year, and then they filled it out with a bunch of dudes that maybe you heard of, maybe you haven't. More role player-esque, and they're trying to build this thing organically through the draft. So if Jawan Jennings is more your role player and Boye Mafe is more your role player, I think that fits who they're trying to be more than big name, splash free agency. I think in a perfect world, they'd like to get away from paying the Dan Moores of the world $82 million.
From paying 31-year-old Trey Hendrickson whatever he's going to get. He is the number 1 ranked player in this list, by the way. Best fit is the Colts, according to Bowen.
If you were competing for a Super Bowl next year, I would hear you on Trey Hendrickson. If they are going to be allowed to do the thing that they seem to want to do, which is build this up the right way, then I don't think you should be going all in for big name, splashy free agent, high ticket items.
We need a big leap from Femi Oladejo.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most important players on the roster next year. Good or bad, right? Because if he fails, that's going to leave them. I mean, one, it's going to bring some degree of criticism around Mike Borgonzi. But if he hits and contributes in a meaningful way, it makes their lives a lot easier if they've got a second-round pick that they can actually lean on, because they've missed that from their last 2 second-round picks in Sweat and Femi. All right, so things that you can't lean on. Tua Tagovailoa. But it's the Dolphins' preference to trade him and potentially eat some of that contract in a poison pill. One NFL analyst posed the idea of the Titans being the team to buy a draft pick from Miami by trading for Tua Tagovailoa. We're going to talk about the viability of that coming up next.
So with the window open for teams to apply franchise or transition tags, that goes through March 3rd. Free agency is right around the corner, March 11th, the start of the new league year. And the quarterback carousel is going to get turning in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa's future out of Miami seems to be in question. And yesterday, there was a tweet by Bleacher Report Gridiron that just showed a graphic of the teams with the most cap space in the NFL. The Titans, of course, at the top spot with over $99 million. And Matt Harmon, who you may know from Reception Perception, he writes, he's an analyst for Yahoo Sports. We've had him on the show, a bit of a wide receiver guru.
Sounds like we will again at the Combine.
If everything goes our way, I believe we've got him penciled in.
He quote tweeted the graphic. Sorry, Robert, didn't mean to cut you off.
Don't let it happen again.
Okay. Yes, sir. He quote tweeted the graphic and said, the Titans are the team that should call the Dolphins and, quote, buy a draft pick by taking on the Tua contract. Stupid amount of cap space to take on the deal, and he just becomes a non-threatening backup to Cam Ward. Now, a lot of people read this or thought they read this. They read the words, and then in their mind, they formulated or heard the Titans should send a second and a third to Miami in exchange for Tua Tagovailoa, which is not even remotely what Matt Harmon is suggesting here.
I do love the internet in these moments.
Absolutely. The F&M Bank chat is already on fire about it. But what Matt Harmon is suggesting is that the Titans take on a lot of the money that Tua is owed, and in exchange, the Dolphins send the Titans a draft pick, not the other way around. In this situation, the Titans, if they did it well, would not be losing any draft capital whatsoever. The price they would pay would be taking on the Tua contract to make him a veteran backup for Cam Ward, similar to what the Texans did with Brock Osweiler in 2017, I think it was, trading him to the Browns. And in exchange, Cleveland took on his $16 million guaranteed salary, which is hilarious that 9 years ago, it's like, oh, we got to get rid of this $16 million bucks.
It was a salary dump. It was like the first NFL salary dump that I can remember.
Yes.
Because obviously Houston gave Osweiler that contract. It wasn't the thing around it like Bill O'Brien and Brock Osweiler had never actually had a conversation.
I can't remember, but
they
it was
never
a
met
failure.
him in person or something like that. They just signed him.
It failed miserably.
Yes, it was not a good marriage, and so they dumped him after that. So that was, 2 years removed from him being a free agent? Was he in Houston a full 2 years as their quarterback? Because, of course, the Broncos won with Osweiler on the roster and starting for Peyton Manning in some moments in 2015. So
now, Osweiler was in Cleveland for 5 minutes, and he was released in September, and Deshaun Kaiser was the starter, but that didn't matter.
Bad.
It didn't matter because the Browns got a second-round pick out of the deal. All they had to do was take the $16 million off the Texans' books. So that's what Matt Harmon is suggesting here, but we're talking about a whole lot more than $16 million.
Well, we are also talking about a world in which the cap is going to be significantly higher, like we're doing a little bit of inflation. Now, I'm not saying that $16 million in 2017 equals $45 million in 2026, but there is some level of inflation here. So, Houston gave Cleveland Osweiler, their 2018 second-round pick,
which was used to draft Nick Chubb,
which was a good pick.
Yeah.
And a 2017 sixth-round pick. Houston got a fourth and saved $10 million in salary cap space and $16 million in cash that season. Titans, all right, you've seen a variety of different numbers out there on the internet, I'm sure. You've seen 100 million, you've seen 90-something million, you've seen 75 million, right? These things are fluid. They will continue to change throughout the course of the offseason. Let's just say, ballpark, between $80 and $100 million in cap space. Now, I know $20 million is a big gulf, but you need a little wiggle room here. Tua, his contract right now is disgusting.
Yeah, it's hefty.
In 2026, his base salary is $39 million. His cap number is $56.26 million. His dead money is $99.2 million.
All your cap space. Every dollar.
But in this situation, should they decide to move him, depending on what time they moved him, this could be mitigated because there is a release option for Tua that drops that $99 million figure down to 67.4, which is not great, but it still eats into the Dolphins' salary cap significantly less. Their preference would, of course, be to trade him. Now, you would have to work out a deal in which, I mean, what's the minimum? Because essentially, you're going to eat half the cap space.
Yeah.
Like, now, that sounds offensive in principle, and I'm not saying that it's a good idea, but the question becomes, all right, Mike Borgonzi, are you going to spend all your cap space this year? You're going to go full Rand Carthon sugar rush? Probably not. You're going to do what the Patriots did last offseason? Probably not. Is your plan to spend every available salary cap dollar that you have in free agency this year? Probably not. So, if there is the potential for you to utilize some cap space that you would not otherwise plan on using for a better backup quarterback situation, and at minimum, half your cap space would cost, to me, a second-round pick. I don't think you could even entertain the conversation around this without a second-round pick being a part of the deal.
I would even go so far as to say that may not be enough. Because looking at Brock Osweiler's deal, when the Browns traded for him, he was a part of 11.4% of the Texans' overall salary cap. Tua's contract in 2026 takes up 18% of the total salary cap. The Dolphins have three third-round picks. They pick at 311, 323, and 326. They also have a fourth, a fifth, and a seventh. They pick at 211, which is 43rd overall. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
That's a ton of money, man. Like if you're, I think you would need a little extra scratch on top of it. Like maybe the Titans send them a 6 and get a 4, or the Titans send a 4 and get a 3. But there needs to be some other trade-up element involved if you're going to take that much money off their cap.
Now, Matt Harmon, because initially I thought this was satire, if I'm being completely honest with you. I thought he was doing a thing on the internet, but he's not. Matt Harmon, who initially posed this idea, is considering this a serious and viable solution for the Titans. And his explanation, because he immediately gets into arguments with Titans fans in the mentions, and I don't blame Titans fans for being upset by the idea of this. Matt Harmon's explanation is, figured Titans fans would universally like the idea of getting a draft pick at the mere cost of cap space you will never use and having a quarterback on the roster you will never play. 18% of your cap, or anywhere close to it, that to me is a bridge too far, because it's not like, I mean, he is a better backup quarterback option than they might otherwise find, right? He's a better back. I mean, whatever he is at this point in his career, there's still something to Tua. Not much, but something. I am probably against this idea. I don't hate the idea of talking about it, because if there is a deal that can be negotiated, which is in the Titans' favor, now, the terms are obviously way different than in 2019 when they last traded for a failed Dolphins starting quarterback in a break glass in case of Mariota emergency situation when they acquired Ryan Tannehill. Now, and let me look up the terms of the Tannehill deal. Miami got a 4th-round pick in 2020, so a future 4th, and a 7th that year in exchange for the Titans getting Tannehill and a 6th in the 2019 draft. They also the Titans restructured Tannehill's deal in a situation that only paid him $7 million fully guaranteed. Again, this is not that long ago. $7 million fully guaranteed with the chance to make up to $12 million in incentives. That was the reported deal. Miami ate $5 million of the guarantees in the form of a signing bonus. So we're talking about a significantly bigger figure, which would also have to come at a significantly higher draft capital price. I still think that you would struggle to make this truly viable.
It's not as outlandish as it seems.
It's not outrageous.
At first, yeah. But
his contract is outrageous, and that's what makes, because all people have heard is that Tua cost $99 million
exactly.
to cut, right?
Yeah, so it's like, we're not going to be able to get anybody in free agency, which isn't necessarily the case. But it does feel like maybe a touch too much money to take, even
Amber
if you're not
says-
going to spend all your money in free agency.
Amber says, have there been backup quarterbacks paid more than starters? Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Yes, but let's not pretend like that's like...
It's not super common, but it's not
that
outrageous.
was a very weird situation.
Well, and I mean, I think Tannehill was making more than Marcus at that point in time. Like, there are situations where this has happened. It would not be unprecedented.
I think it's worth noting that I don't think the Dolphins do this either. Like, they have the number one most dead cap in the entire NFL this year. They're carrying $97.8 million in dead cap, which, by the way, is the most dead cap a team has ever carried into a season. So why they're already taking a poison pill. They're already taking their medicine this year in terms of making the cap more manageable next year. Why would they trade away a player to get money off the books and a pick when your new head coach just got up there and said, we're going to be a draft and develop team. No longer are we going to trade first-round picks for proven players. We're going to find proven players and then make them stars.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Dolphins would do this because they're already eating the bleep sandwich.
And the other part of this that makes it infinitely less viable, how many teams need a quarterback?
Yeah, no, there is a long list of teams that
I don't know that the Jets would trade in the division.
It could actually give Tua a chance to start.
I mean, I just saw the Cardinals are interested in trading for Tyson Bagent.
Right.
Which is infinitely more affordable before people jump down my throat about it. But, your credit, the son of a professional arm wrestler is getting talked about, and I do love Tyson Bagent, but getting traded for as a viable starting option.
Yes, so much easier to sell if you're taking on that money and getting a pick and getting a starting quarterback out of it, much less a backup quarterback. Meanwhile, the Dolphins have a 1 and a 2. They have 3 third-round draft picks. I, for what Robert just said, would be hard-pressed to think that Miami would be willing to give up
more draft picks.
Yeah, or their lone second-rounder.
The reason it's worth talking about is, and I agree with this comment from Bradford on YouTube, I like the idea of swapping cap for draft capital in a more viable situation. Now, this would take a number of different gymnastics and may, even through the gymnastics, not make that much sense. But in principle, I do like the idea of, if you're a team with buku cap space, you don't have to spend it on players every year. You do have to spend to a certain floor. We have a salary cap floor in the NFL. But if you're planning on long-term viability, understanding that the cap is going to go up, yeah, I'm good with a team like the Titans exploring something less extreme than this. This feels like the most extreme version of this conversation. Now, I don't know how many more situations like this exist, but in principle, I'm okay with it. This specific situation, I would probably not endorse. Last call for phone calls. If you got it, 615-737-1045. We'll wrap up the show next. All right. Let's wrap it up for the day. Last call for phone calls if you got it. I mean, we're done, but obviously you can stick around for Blaine and Zach, 3HL, on after that. 615-737-1045. You want to jump in the final minutes with us? Of course, you can always get on hold early if you would like to talk to the guys who are up next. Joe is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, or Ohio? Which Bowling Green?
I'm always in Bowling Green for you, sir.
Okay.
Always. Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Very good.
Actually, you attended school, I believe, didn't you, for a minute?
For a minute.
Okay. My ears perked up during this free agent fever dream when you said the name Chason. I really like him as a player. I don't know if we're going to be bidding against the Patriots and re-sign him, but he's 26. It looks like you could get him for $10 million a year, 7.5 sacks. Young player, really. He was on a prove-it deal with the Patriots last year, and he proved it. So that's somebody I would definitely like us to look at. The Tua thing is I know that's sort of a fantasy fever dream, but, I don't even know what the guy was thinking. But anyway, enjoy the show. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you for the call. It's Tuesday. I think you meant have a good week, but we appreciate it, Joe. How do we feel about prove-it deals? Because Draymond Jones was kind of a prove-it deal, right? And it ended up paying out for Draymond Jones. Robert, is there any indication that the Ravens are going to bring him back?
I think they have a number of options at that position, and they'd probably be interested in doing so. But I also think that they would have already made a contract offer. They probably have. But if he was
below value,
I think that he's going to test free agency.
I kind of want you to find, if I'm a Titans fan, I get it. Like, you see somebody having success and they play on a Super Bowl team, and it was somebody who didn't do anything in Jacksonville, and they just basically rehabbed him. But, I would like for you to find your own prove-it deal type of players, as opposed to paying for somebody who proved it elsewhere.
In back-to-back years, because he was a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
He had a really disappointing start to his career
Out
in Jacksonville.
Out of LSU?
Caleb on Chason. Where else would he have played? Jacksonville had 3 sacks in his first.
French name doesn't mean he has to play at LSU.
3 sacks in his first 3 years. And then he's signed by the Vegas practice squad in 24, gets activated, ends up having 5 sacks that year. Then the $5 million deal with New England, 7.5 sacks. And it'll go a notch up from there. Young player.
So I get it in principle. I'm not outright opposed. Again, you've got the money to do it, but I would like for you to find the next Caleb on Chason, as opposed to taking somebody else's.
Well, yes, but you kind of need to be able to do a little bit of both.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm not. Again, I'm not opposed. But there are options here. All right. Anything else? Anything soccer related? We just go to polls?
Yeah. 7 p.m. tonight. Nashville SC at Atletico Ottawa.
Go. Wait, quickly, before we get to the polls. No, you leave the music if you want to. It's up to you.
All right. No, you halted it. Clearly, this is very important.
Well, it's just somebody else who is smart about football lending his voice to this Tua discussion. Mike Herndon just tweeted, would need to be a pretty high pick to take on that much money, but trading Levis for a pick and then getting a pick to take on the Tua cap would effectively upgrade your backup quarterback spot and give you a couple additional draft picks. Pretty good use of cap space, in my opinion. The smart people are saying it's not a bad idea. We should have Mike on. All right, continue.
Presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Would you be willing to eat part of Tua's contract to buy a draft pick from the Dolphins? As Matt Harmon of Yahoo Sports suggested, 72% say no.
In principle, no, but I'm not opposed to the idea. I don't have a problem with them exploring any viable option to get to the kind of draft capital number that they've said that they wanted to get to.
How would you describe the Vols' progress as a program in the last 3 seasons, as Josh Pate ranked them number 12 in his top 12 of overall programs in the last 3 years? Ascending, descending, or flat? The majority here, 62%, say flat. 20.5% say ascending, 17.4% say descending.
There seemed to be some confusion. Maybe it didn't confuse that many people, but I saw some comments like, what program are you talking about? Are you just talking about athletic department across the board?
Yeah, just one comment from Karen.
Premise was meant to be football.
Yeah, I think most people understood it was football. Titans Truths replies and says 2020 through 2022, meteoric rise. 2023 through 2025, little flat. Interesting discussions about Tennessee football as we still await the ruling from Judge Haggerty in Knox County on whether or not Joey Aguilar will be eligible this year.
No updates yet.
Which Dolphins cap casualty should the Titans sign? NWI, Bradley Chubb, or Tyreek Hill? It's hilarious to even include NWI in that group of 3. But
greatest wide receiver of all time.
77% say Chubb, 14.8% say NWI, 8.1% say Tyreek.
Hill feels like the least viable.
Nobody's ever looked happier to be carted off the field with a devastating knee injury than Tyreek Hill. Like, I got reminded of that yesterday, the way he was like smiling and pumping up the crowd and like fist pumping. It looked like he was celebrating something as he was getting carted off the field. But he is bouncing back from that. He is into his 30s at this point. Doesn't a return to Kansas City just feel like it makes sense?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. What in sports made you say, oh no? Kenneth says the Titans' massive rebrand secret undone by a Fanatics football plushie.
Yeah, that probably spoils a little bit of their, I'm sure they always, every team has and every organization has some kind of best laid plans.
That logo's also been displayed prominently at Titans House for quite some time. Like, there's not the first time that
hiding
logo,
in plain sight type of situation.
Yeah, like I have seen that logo pop up on Twitter with people being like, oh, is this the new logo? So Darren says Joey Aguilar, this is a completely incoherent tweet. Those are the polls.
All right, very good. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Robert and I are off prime time tonight. Have a great rest of your afternoon.